Long time ago, in a peaceful valley surrounded by green hills and colorful flowers, there lived a little girl named Elina. Elina loved singing. Every morning, her sweet songs made the flowers sway, the birds chirp, and even the river sparkle with joy. Her voice was like sunshine in sound, filling the valley with warmth and goodness. One bright afternoon, Elina was playing near the sparkling river when she suddenly heard a gentle, melodic voice whisper her name. She looked around in surprise. Out from the mist above the water appeared a glowing fairy. She had shimmering wings that glittered in gold and silver. The fairy's name was Lyora. Lyora smiled kindly at Elina and said, "Elina, your songs bring life to this valley. Your kindness and music carry magical power." Elina gasped with wonder. You are a fairy? A real fairy?" Lyora nodded with a twinkle in her eyes. The two of them laughed together and quickly became close friends. From that day on, Elina and Lyora often met by the river. Elina would sing while Lyora fluttered her sparkling wings, filling the air with beams of light. It seemed like nothing could disturb their valley of joy. But one evening, everything changed. The sky darkened in a strange way. Heavy black clouds swallowed up the stars, and a cold wind whistled through the hills. The valley that once shimmered with beauty now trembled under a gloomy shadow. An ancient shadow spirit had awoken. This spirit hated joy and music. It wanted silence, darkness, and sadness to rule the land. Flowers drooped low, birds hid in fear, and the river, once shining, turned dull and gray. Elina shivered and grabbed Lyora's hand. "What is happening? Why is everything losing its light?" she asked with a trembling voice. Lyora's tone was serious but calm. "Elina, the shadow spirit wants to cover the world in darkness. The only way to defeat it is to find the crystal of dawn, for its glow can bring back joy and light." Though afraid, Elina nodded with determination. They set out on their magical journey. They entered the enchanted forest, where the golden leaves of the trees shimmered faintly under the moonlight. As they walked, a mischievous squirrel leapt out and snatched the ribbon from Elina's hair. Elina giggled nervously, but instead of becoming angry, she sang a playful tune. The squirrel twitched its tail, then began to skip and dance. Slowly, it returned the ribbon and led the way down a hidden path. Elina and Lyora exchanged happy smiles. Further along the way, fireflies began swirling gently through the darkness. They gathered to form a glowing path of light, showing Elina and Lyora the safest way forward. Soon, in a meadow bathed in pale moonlight, rainbow-colored butterflies appeared and circled them. Their wings glowed like tiny lanterns, forming a tunnel of light that pointed straight toward the cave of the Crystal of Dawn. Lyora whispered softly, "See, Elina? Every act of kindness you share brings us new friends who guide the way." Elina's heart felt braver than before. At last, after their long journey, they reached the roaring river that divided the forest from the cave. Stretching across the water was a faint rainbow bridge, glowing weakly in the dark. Step by step, they carefully crossed, with Lyora's golden wings shining like lanterns to keep them steady. Finally, they stood before a towering dark cave. Inside, far at the center, glowed the crystal of dawn, weak and flickering like a candle about to fade. But as they approached, the shadow spirit appeared, swirling huge and dark as smoke, with echoing laughter that shook the cave walls. "Leave this place," it boomed. "The world belongs to me. Light and music have no power here." Elina held Lyora's hand tightly and took a deep breath. Her voice was shaking, but she whispered, "I will not give up. This valley belongs to song and light." Then she began to sing. At first, her melody was soft and trembling, almost broken. The shadow spirit roared with laughter, but Lyora spread her wings wide and wrapped Elina in a gentle golden glow. Elina's voice grew stronger, pure and full of courage. Her song reached higher, echoing through every corner in the cave. Suddenly, butterflies burst from the crystal, awakened by her melody, filling the cavern with color. Lyora's wings blazed like the sun, scattering sparks across the darkness. The shadow spirit screamed, unable to bear the music and light. The crystal of dawn flared awake, bursting with radiant energy. Together, Elina's song and Lyora's light combined into a wave of brilliance that washed over the shadow spirit. With one final cry, the darkness shattered and vanished into nothingness. The crystal glowed brighter and brighter until the entire cave filled with sunrise colors, golden, pink, and shimmering. Their light rushed out across the valley. Flowers lifted their tired faces and blossomed happily once more. The river glistened like silver, flowing joyfully. Above, the black clouds melted away, and the stars sparkled again, brighter than ever. In their homes, children smiled in their dreams, wrapped in calm and peace. Elina and Lyora stepped into the morning air, smiling as they watched life return all around them. Lyora turned to Elina, her face glowing with pride. "Remember this lesson, Elina. It was not magic alone that saved us. It was your courage, your kindness, and our friendship. That is the true light that defeats darkness." Elina looked up at the sparkling night sky that was clearing into dawn. She whispered softly to herself, "As long as we carry kindness in our hearts, darkness can never win."